That is what's up. Give us a retweet. Let everybody know that we're here, guys. Let's do it. LTNC has recovered well this week, and we are looking like we're going to have a nice week coming up, guys. Nobody can doubt it. The Bears are out, and the Goats are in, guys. We are freaking ruling it as far as I'm concerned. I think that we're very close to closing in the twos, and I think we're about to enter the zero threes. Thai Airways went from 16 cents to 5.50 today. You tell me that this thing ain't gonna go to a dollar? They're out of their mind, man. The bear traps are there, and we're gonna freaking hang those bears, guys. That is what's up, man. I am waiting for Takeover Joe to come on in. The invite is for him, guys. So please don't start chiming in just now. Can you guys hear me? Okay? Can you guys hear me? Can everybody hear me? Can I just get a yes? Somebody saying that they can't hear me. Can somebody hear me? Okay, everybody can hear me. Great. Okay, must be their speakers. All right, so I'm waiting for Takeover Joe, the man, the myth, the legend, who took it over from Ryan to enter. I got some pretty cool information that you guys are going to tune in for towards the end. Something that we put together. I think you guys are going to really like what we're doing here. So check this out. I got Takeover Joe trying to chime in here. One second. He has canceled. Hang on one second. Let's see if we can get him in. Hang on one second. I'm going to click the invite thing so that we can get Joe in here. Everybody wants to hear from Joe. It's a Friday night, and we got freaking people in here. We want to talk to Joe. Joe, 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 Joe. Let's go, Joe. Let's go. All right, come on, baby. Shorts got caught with their pants down, guys. That is what's up. George Sharp, poor guy, man. I'll tell you what, man. I'll tell you what. LTNC is going to surpass FORW very soon, in my opinion. That's just my own personal opinion. That's what's up, guys. That's what's up. All right, let's see if we can get Joe on here. Up here we go. I think we got him. I think we got him. Hang on. Hang on. Five, four, three, two, one. Joe, are you with me?
I am
Joe,
here.
yeah. Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Hey, man, doing good, Stan. How are you?
Good, man. You got some reception this time, huh?
Man, I went and got a couple extra towers here, man. I'm sitting amongst some major networks here, so there should be no disconnect.
There you go, man. You got some VizLink 5G stuff going on over there, right? They're
I
tweeting
got
about 5G, so we got the VizLink stuff going on, right?
I got army helmet with antennas on it.
Hey, man, there you go, baby. Let's do it. Hey, man. So listen, now we had some great news this week. You put out some press release about you're working with H2 for life with Faith Springs. That was massive news for investors, and I don't think they know. Oh, here we go, man. Joe's antennas ain't working, guys. Hang on, hang on. I got to bring him back in. Oh, my man's got to get some. He's got to get some reception going on, guys. Hang on, guys. Hang on, hang on, hang on, hang on. Oh man, it's just me, the goat. Hey guys, by the way, I knew that you guys would love the goat face. That's why I'm leaving it here. So it's like a goat is talking. Let the bears, man. You know they're in here listening. Let them breathe it and weep it. Hey Joe, you there? Are you there, buddy?
I am here.
Okay, no worries, man. Just stay wherever you're at so you don't lose it. Okay.
No, listen, man. I had to take a road trip. I was on the road last week for the company. Had some meetings in Atlanta, obviously, and then I had to go to the West Coast. And on my way back, coincidentally, an Uber driver slammed my iPhone 8. So I'm actually on a new iPhone 12 right now. So there's no reason this thing should be disconnecting. So we should have good reception.
Yeah, well, you know, the newer they are, the crappier they are. You know that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You
I'm
know,
not,
but
I'm young whippersnappers.
oh man, I'm 43, bro. I'm there. You know, my mom passed away 4 years ago, and she always used to use flip phones. She wouldn't get used to the new technology, and it was so embarrassing, man. I used to have to go into Verizon and ask them for the flip phones, and they go to the back corner and pull it out. You know, they always have for the old people, man. And so my mother was always getting her flip phone, man. She was not going to go to new technology. They still got it if you want it. I think
God,
that's what I'm gonna end up getting,
God,
man.
God bless her, man. Keep that as a memento,
I
souvenir.
do. I got it somewhere in here. I think my boys might toyed around with it, but I got it up here somewhere. So anyway, man. So listen. So let's start it up here. Okay, we're gonna start about building. The building ground up, and some of the stuff been going on FinTwit. Let's knock out FinTwit real quick. You know, there's been a lot of bullying going on with the ticker. Some stuff going on. You know, Shar called it out early. She found this ticker before you were involved, before we even knew who you were. And we got cartoon characters, new accounts popping up. Basically, for me, everybody sees things different as far as like how they approach. I block, but it affects a lot of people, man. It's not only me and her that are catching it, but she's catching a lot of they're doing fake pictures of her and one of the big discord false info on your ticker. Very false info. That's
Yeah.
probably SEC bound once everything comes to fruition. I already got my thing written up for a big Discord, and I don't know what you plan to do, but I got a lot of stuff ready to go on people making face and things, and also bullying women in general, and so forth. What's your take on bullying that everyone's taking online? I mean, do you have a lot of investors that believe in what you're doing, and a lot of people are catching a lot of heat for it? What's your take on bullying online?
Well, I mean, first and foremost, I mean, bullying for women or bullying in general, it's just not right. Even if you went back 20 or 30 years and even what was happening then, and even now with, kids getting bullied, and then you see adults where you have, people such as, yourself, Shar, and other people that are really serious about, trying to do the best that they can, whether they're an investor or, just involved, with a company. And, it's just really a shame that people have the additional time to spend to harass. I really think, as they say, sometimes, when you're getting hate, it's because either, you're doing something that others can't do and there's a level of jealousy, or it's primarily because, the person is lazy, and rather than saying, hey, you know what, I'm going to use this individual, say Shar, for instance, as motivation to say, hey, she's out there, she's hustling, she's doing what she's got to do, instead of using that as inspiration rather than agitation. I think people just have to take a different perspective. And if you can't handle being around other people that are successful, then you should just, go and get a regular job and just, keep yourself blocked out from that, because some people just can't handle it. Obviously, you and Shar and, and most people that are successful, they look to people that are having success or that maybe are doing a little bit better than them and say, hey, what can I do to become better, rather than bashing. So in general, I mean, I think it's just nonsense. That's why I kind of block things out like that. And it's just a shame. And so I would really request everybody that's doing that to, be professional, be an adult, be a good person. And there's just really no room for that, because it does hurt for, when that happens to people, and it's just a shame.
Yeah, man, and women in trading, man, they're dominated by men, and a lot of these women are taking the heat. But I'm gonna tell you what, man, it's National Women's Month, as you may be aware,
Yeah.
and a video that has went viral with over 11 million views of this young lady who, oh man, there goes Joe. Hang on one second, guys. Hold on, we'll get him. Hang on one second. You guys are gonna love this one, guys. Guys, this is all stock talk. If you don't think that this crap affects the stock, you're losing your marbles, guys. This is stock talk. It is. It is, guys. Don't be stupid now. All right. Listen. So National Women's Month, and they're talking
Yep.
about the inequalities over at the NCAA, which, by the way, is a client, for the SEC for LTNC, and what some of us investors did, and I want to tell everybody this because you guys are going to hear this for real, is I committed myself to donating 50 cases to the women's NCAA after seeing that video go viral. I got matched up with Ryan, who was the former CEO. I got Mar, who found this ticker to begin with. I got matched up by Mr. Krabs, and then our Discord did it all. We got 250 cases. When you order pre, we are hoping that you can get your contacts over to NCAA women's side. Since they got like a little bit of weights and they have nothing else, we want to power them up with the goat juice, man. Are you down with that? Can you help us out to get us in contact with them?
Yeah, I'll tell you. I mean, I'll do 50 cases as well, and just give me whatever information we need so I could get that out to my network, because obviously it's certainly a great cause, and with this being Women's Month, it's I would say for everybody to be able to act for any of the nonsense that's occurred. This would be one positive thing that you could do to repent and do a good.
Hey man, hold on. He's coming back, guys. He's got bad reception. Hold on. He'll keep coming in, guys. But that's what we're going to do. We're up to 300 cases now going to the women's NCAA. So since the NC since the NCAA isn't going to take care of the women playing basketball, we are going to take care of them, and we're going to power them up and make them stronger than the men's side. How's that sound, Jeff?
That's what has to be done, man. Let's do it.
All right, 300 cases away so they could power up with the goat water, and we're going to do this. And it's not even for the name or anything like that. It's to put, it is the time for women to shine. And that was ridiculous how their freaking gym looked the same as the men's side, and the NCAA that there was no space. It's not about money; it's about space. And then some people were saying that the NCAA doesn't have, or the women's side doesn't bring enough money. Does that mean that they shouldn't have the equipment to get at least somewhat decency? This is the problem. So you know what, we're going to put the goat water out, and hopefully the NCAA women's side will agree to it. So that's what we're going to do here, Jeff. All right.
No, that's awesome. It's a great first step, and that's a perfect time to do it. I'm all in.
Awesome, man. We're doing it. Thanks, baby. So right now we got 300. I see a lot of people chiming in. Who knows? We may end up with 500 or 1,000. They'll have too much to drink, and that'll be awesome. And maybe out of 1,000 cases, we can hand over one case to the men's side, so we can make it a little unequal on the water side. How's that sound? I'm just kidding. You don't have to answer that, but I'm just me talking, because I'm just like that. All right,
Yeah.
check it out, man. Business from the ground up, man. People are asking for daily for updates. And what I want to point out, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, you're building from the ground up. You've had this product for probably months or years. You've had this. This is not new to you. Like, this is not like you woke up 2 weeks ago or a month ago and said, I'm going to make this water, or I'm going to make this product. You've been in this industry for decades. Decades you've been in this industry. So has some of your partners on your team. You're spending time, meetings, you're creating new relationships, you're maturing old relationships. Nothing's happening overnight. It's happening day by day. And you're creating your team, you're building your blocks, right? And correct me if I'm wrong. You got to create the drink, which we saw the tour of, we saw pictures of. We're doing this, right? You got to work on the distribution. You got to work on getting the stores on board. You got to worry about endorsements. Everybody wants names, right? And we're going to talk about that later. But you got to build the story. Like, it's almost like you got to tell a story. You're not going to like open up a book and say, hey guys, I'm gonna make hydro water. Oh, and by the way, so and so is gonna be endorsing it. No, you got to say, and it's gonna be distributed to the consumers, and it's gonna be going to stores, and it's gonna be endorsed by these people. And then now we're starting sales, guys, and then the gates open. Is that a fair assumption for what it is? That's why I'm in for years. I'm a long-term investor, but I need you to paint the picture if that's a true picture.
Yeah, no, you're spot on. And, I think the biggest mistake, you see companies at times that start by doing, getting caught up in the hype, getting caught up in promoting t-shirts and, doing things that are not building the core foundation. Because as I said in the first interview that we had, and as I've said all along with any particular product or project, if you do not have a blockbuster product, something that is different and unique and best in class, and you do not have the sustainability in terms of manufacturing to scale up to handle uh, what we're looking at to be a potential explosion, to where we are going to need to be scaling up to be able to be shipping truckloads every month. I mean, you can't flip the switch and generate all this hype and excitement and then not have your back end. So, over the last, several months, and specifically since, the LTNC opportunity came about, the objective has been, taking all of these, relationships of, over 20 years, and from, relationships in the beverage industry on the manufacturing side with athletes, with, sales ambassadors, brokers, everything that's required to build a long-term sustainable business. We've had to shift as a unit. I'm sort of the conductor of the orchestra, making sure that every area, every division is moving. And I will tell you this much, and I've received some great compliments for our team over the last couple of weeks, is that, people that are involved, they're just amazed at the speed at which we are moving in terms of getting everything done from, packaging. And the most significant was this week, the announcement that we put out with Faith Springs, because I have been personally using hydrogen water since about 2015. That's when I kind of I heard about it and I'm like, I really wasn't sure if it was really the thing to do. But, I'm a human performance guinea pig and I'll try just about anything to see if it's going to help me perform better, feel better, recover faster, think better. And, I had tried different technologies, different labs that were making it. And so I'm a pretty good judge as to whether or not, a product is quality, whether it's got the proper parts per million of hydrogen and the effects that you're going to get. Because my diet's really clean. I follow a very strict regimen. So I'm a very good test subject. And I have a whole group of test subjects that have, of elite athletes that I've worked with for years that, they'll tell me right out of the gate, yeah, Joe, this is really good. We like it. Hey, strong. Not enough. We got to tune it up a bit. So the criticality in terms of our success in creating this joint venture with Faith Springs, and to keep it real simple, because I have seen some questions on Twitter, there's a little bit of confusion for those that really don't understand the core fundamentals of the manufacturing process. And what it comes down to is, I, along with
Hold on, guys. Hold on. We lost him. Hold on 1 second, guys. He's coming back on. Stand by. Stand by, guys. Stand by. Stand by. He'll be clicking on here. Yep, here we go. He's coming on. Hang on 1 second, guys. Guys, I got all the questions for you guys. Chill out. I got a lot of good questions.
All
All right,
right,
Joe, go ahead.
I'm back in, and I'll tell you, I'm right connected, so I don't know why it keeps clicking off, but
No problem.
at any rate, so the whole thing, this Faith Springs opportunity with H2 for Life, and I'll be very brief because you can always reference the news releases, but for us, it was so key to be able to find what we feel to be the absolute best hydrogen water technology, science, product and manufacturing facility right in the great state of Georgia. And we have visited numerous labs over the last several years. We've tested out all these different products. And at the end of the day, Faith Springs and H2 for Life, they are a science, technology, and manufacturing partner. They've been around for 10 years. Danny has worked diligently on improving that hydrogen technology. He's even worked on developing multiple different colloidal mineral complexes, which I've had a chance to sit down with him to review. So these products that we're bringing forth are hydrogen beverages that have never before been done. I mean, this really is innovative and revolutionary from a product development standpoint. And so, where the joint venture comes in and where a true partnership comes in is, we sat down, we had some conference calls, and I ended up flying into Atlanta. Ryan and I and several of our other partners, we went down, we sat down with these guys and said, you know what, you have the science, you have the technology, you have the manufacturing capabilities, you actually have a natural spring right here on the 30 something acre estate where you're drawing natural spring water that is infused with hydrogen and canned at the source with your proprietary technology, and you don't have the sales, marketing, and distribution. Well, guess what? We do. So that's where it was a very harmonious meeting, a very gentlemanly meeting, and we both looked. Everybody looked at each other around the table and said, you know what, this was meant to be. It was in the cards, and so that's how we put the deal together very quickly, and that's how we're going to move forward with that focus. So it's a win-win for both parties involved, and we're really excited about it. It was really key because without that, you're walking on shaky ground. So we had a couple different guys we were checking out, and after that visit, it was just like when I guess when you're in love or getting married, it's the one, and we're like, these are the right group. So
I love it, man. Let me ask you something. So Faith Springs is the LLC. I know you saw some stuff floating around incorrectly from some people with some big followers saying that their company's been dissolved, and then everybody had to show that they're real. I mean, everyone can see they're real. The LLC is there and stuff like that. What I was trying to explain to people is you got to change the name of LLC in order to use the company to promote to other companies versus what they had H2 for Life initially, where they could pretty much was only their brand under it, so they had to sort of separate it. Face Springs, your takeover is going to create your own brand using their proprietary technology, correct? And you're going to have your mixture, you're going to have your name, and your product is still coming out before Easter. Is that correct?
That's correct, and I'll answer that in two parts.
Go ahead.
First and foremost, and this is really important because this will clarify a lot of confusion for those that understand it.
Thank you.
The H2 for life technology, you want to look at that almost like Coca-Cola, right? So it would take us anywhere from 5 to 10 years to be able to develop the technology that they have. So, what do the big companies do? You go to try to find the diamond in the rough, right? So this company was really the diamond in the rough that just did everything right on the science and manufacturing side, but then needed what we could deliver. So as we move forward, we're using their base technology to then create more enhanced functional products for a number of different categories, whether it's gamer focus, athletic performance, and some other really cool stuff, which I can't disclose right now. However, everything that we do is going to be unique, novel, innovative. It's going to be exclusive. No one in the world is going to have it because we have the technology now. I mean, H2 for Life is our tech. And, in the spirit of true partnership, their base product, which is their H2 for Life water, that's a great general product. I mean, for somebody that's just, looking to get a hydrogen water and they're not really under, excessive athletic stress and generating a lot of oxidative stress from heavy training, that's a great product. But what we're going to do is we're going to take that base that has already been established and proven and say, you know what, here's what we're going to do now. We're going to add, different complexes, different ingredients, different clinically tested compounds that have been proven in research to support a variety of structure function claims. And that is what is really going to make us different and position us as the world leaders in hydrogen water technology. So it was just, meant to be. And I'm really, really fortunate. They're a great group of people, great Southern, family oriented individuals. And they're just like us. They just want to help people. They want to bring great products to market. And we're going to do it together. And it's going to be one heck of a ride. And we're going to make history.
Awesome, man. I love this. So let me ask you something. And just to circle back on this, let's do this real quick. How are you still committed to getting it out to consumers before Easter? And a two-part series. How long do you anticipate it hit shelves of whoever you're working with to get it on shelves to consumers that way?
Yes, the date, obviously Easter, I think, is Sunday, April 4th. So our targeted date to take orders is going to be on Friday, April 2nd. I'm hoping to land before that, but we should be, that was the objective, was to be able to have product ready to ship prior to April 2nd. Now, obviously, there have been some people that are buying the base water, which essentially, both companies are becoming one. However, the product going direct to consumers will be done initially. And then in terms of answering your question, getting into stores, that is largely dependent on which store chain. Smaller stores, I know there was a couple people that reached out on Twitter that had some family owned stores, maybe it's 3 or 4 chain stores. There were some other multi-door.
Stand by, guys. You got disconnected again. We'll bring him back here, guys. You guys gotta love my photo though. Seeing that goat talking. You guys love that. I know you do. Makes all the bears just go bearish on me. All right, here we go. Here we go. All right, go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, no. So based on what type of store chain, if it's a 12 to 24 multi-door operator, we're talking about a large national chain. That's going to be dependent on how long it takes to get into the shelves. We will keep everybody posted on that as those relationships, are solidified. But meetings are set, contracts are getting ready to get inked, and those will be announcements that we will make as these events occur.
And are you will you give us updates on your pre-distribution sales to consumers?
Yeah, I think, I find it really interesting because, just seeing what's happened already in the first couple days and some of the surveys that has been done. I know Ryan took a survey to see, how many cases people would be purchasing. I know you put some stats out there. So yeah, I want everybody, all the co-owners and the shareholders to see, the speed at which we are going to be able to scale up. And so for the first couple months, those will be, reported. But then after that, we'll probably go to the traditional format of just reporting the revenues quarterly for both segments.
Awesome, man. And so let's shift to cryptocurrency real quick. LTNC for Labor Smart PR'd a few weeks ago that they were accepting cryptocurrency for that side of the business. Does Takeover have interest in accepting crypto in the future at all? Like, are you guys investigating it, or is it even on your charts to talk about in the future once you get distribution set up and all that?
Well, you know what? We have the capabilities to do it, obviously. And so, this is a work in progress. I think we're going to evaluate and see what type of feedback we get from consumers. And if there's a demand for it, then we have the ability to execute on that.
Okay. And then are you going back to stores? Kroger and 7-Eleven were mentioned last time that you were in negotiations with them. Have had the negotiations stopped, or are you still negotiating with them? You're actively talking to them in other chains?
There are everything is in the works. Meetings are being set, and like you mentioned in the early part of this call, it is a process. Nothing happens quickly. This is all of their chains. Take this as a serious play. They have to make sure that they're forecasting properly, and this is just we're in the process, and everything is in motion, and it's looking really good.
Do you I'm not mentioning Kroger or 7-Eleven in this question. I'm mentioning in general. Do you have any big stores that have already signed on that you haven't told us yet? In other words, in the future is coming that you already have them signed on or very close to having signed on. And I'm not talking about any specific chain or any specific line. I'm just asking in general. Like, do you already have that lined up, or are you almost there to wet ink it?
Well, I will say this. The guys that we have involved here have been in the business for over 20 to 25 years with long established relationships. So everyone's very confident that when we're ready to flip the switch, we're going to be able to move very quickly.
And I know you guys have a lot of history, with you can correct me if I'm wrong, with Pepsi particularly and some other stuff. I do have a question lingering on that though. It comes up very often. I'm sure you see it on threads and maybe you brush it off or something like that. Perhaps maybe you could just, I don't want to use any brand names, like any big brand names, but what's this is the way I explain it. You could tell me if I'm wrong, okay? Um, a big brand, whoever it is, not talking about any specific brand in general, could theoretically create hydro water and run with it, right? What I've explained to people, you correct me if I'm correct, right or wrong, that it's easier for the little guy to go through the failures and risk rewards of creating a business, creating a venture, and then it's cheaper at a later time for some of the big dogs to potentially, create an acquisition later to acquire a small company and get the technology with it and stuff like that. Is that a fair statement? Where the big dogs don't necessarily want to play with this fish, and they want to see where it goes first, whoever the big dogs are.
Well, in any industry, and you'll see this, the larger players, the bigger conglomerates, they're looking for turnkey brands that have already been established. The name is done, the artwork's done, trademarks are done, distribution is there. They have a unique technology because, the big guys just want to come in. They've got the money to throw at it. They can do an acquisition and then they just flip the switch and they just put more money behind it and they can push it harder within the already established distribution that the brand has. So, obviously our objective is to, leverage our long-term relationships to be able to build, a world-class product, a best-in-class product, a premium product that's, good enough for the elite athletes all the way down to somebody that just wants to use what the world's best are using, have the doors, have the distribution, have the education, have the brand awareness, have the science, have the technology, have the right, consumer feedback and success stories, that we're very confident will have based on who we've already had success with these types of hydrogen. So these are all the things that a big company coming in looking at, they're looking for. And that's typically, the way these other acquisitions go over the last several years, particularly in the functional beverage space.
Sure. And did I read somewhere? You can correct me if I'm wrong. The center that you guys are hooked up with Faith Springs, can they do up to 500,000 boxes a month or something like that? Or You correct me if I'm wrong, or do you know the numbers of what they can produce a month?
Yeah, the capacities right now are significant for what they can do on one shift. That can always be scaled up to 2 and 3 shifts. But considering where we're going to be at, we probably should be able to stay within 1 or 2 shifts for the first, 3 to 6 months, and then if needed, we can assist in putting in additional lines to then ramp up manufacturing even further. So being able to keep up with the demand is not going to be a concern, and that obviously was a concern, a couple months ago. But thus the importance of really locking in a strong manufacturing partner that has the ability to scale, which they do.
Okay, so when people realize how big this is going to be, because I'm a person who can see the trees beyond the forest. Forget investors. Just as a business person in general, I can see what's coming. Like that's why I went in so hard. Once I heard hydro water, I could see that this is the future, and that's where I'm at. So they can definitely be prepared for the mass numbers once people wake up and realize this is what I'm going to do. Right? They're ready. Hang on, guys. He just got disconnected. Stand by one. Hang on one second. Hang on one second, guys. Hang on one second, guys. All right, here we go. I think we're here. Hold on a second. Here we go. Hey, Joe. So like I was saying, they're ready. They're ready on demand to meet the demand. Is that correct?
Yes, and there's actually a couple other things that over the coming weeks we'll be able to make some announcements on that are very significant related to the technology and us collectively as a team with H2 for Life really being able to solidify ourselves as the leaders in the space. Because at the end of the day, it all comes down to the tech and who has the best product. There's knockoff products, there's little hydrogen water machines. You can make your own water. There are people that are going to say they can do hydrogen, but it's at the end of the day, the proof is in the science, the research, and the testing, which
Doggone it. We lost him. Hold on one second, guys. Hold on. This is getting good here. We are getting good here, guys. All right, here we go. He's coming right back in. Go ahead, bud. Go ahead, Joe.
I'm back.
Yep, no problem. All right, so I got you. So we're doing some big things here. I want to emphasize something you said. I want to emphasize it. Sorry if it's not word for verbatim. In the next couple of weeks, you're gonna have some big announcements that's going to be significant from the distribution side, as well as how you're going to be doing dealing with H2. And you consider yourselves, or correct me if I'm wrong, the leaderboard with pretty much the best. Of what you got here with the proprietary and with the water source. Is that correct?
Absolutely, 100%.
And did I understand? Ryan tweeted out like 3 weeks ago, and I noticed something in the PR or something else. Can you talk about the gold stuff that's in the water coming from the spring? Because I don't think people understand the significance of that. Can you explain that real quick on like why? Because people are like, oh, this is just water, blah blah blah. Can you explain why this particular spring is so massive? This people don't listen to the small words. The small words are the biggest words that are going to make this thing your business skyrocket. Tell me about the gold platinum.
Sure. Well, first and foremost, you start with natural spring water. Most bottled waters that you see, or even other hydrogen waters, they're using deionized water, reverse osmosis water, or distilled water. So we're actually using pristine natural spring water derived from the ground. From there, the hydrogen process is done. And then after that, what Danny has worked on over the last decade is identifying which colloidal minerals, which are almost a microscopic and a very high parts per million. So it's a very minute quantity, but yet elicits a tremendous amount of health benefits. And so many of us have probably used like colloidal silver, right? Like when you get sick, people will take like emergency and colloidal silver to boost their immunity. So what Danny had uncovered over the last 5 years was that using colloidal gold and colloidal platinum, which are essentially non-ionic minerals, which do not develop into toxic levels in the body like many heavy metals do. These do not have that side effect. They're natural and safe. that particular combination of platinum and gold has been shown to help to boost immunity and help to boost overall wellness, which makes it the right combination for the average consumer looking just for health and wellness. So what we've worked on with Danny, and I've had numbers of conversations with him over the last couple of weeks, is additional colloidal mineral complexes specifically for the hard training athlete or someone who is exercising daily or putting their body under excessive or intense oxidative stress, which is generating free radicals. You're getting muscle tissue breakdown, and you're getting a lot of metabolic byproducts that can start to actually break the body down. So you have a much different physiological environment and different physical requirements when you're exercising intensely, or even jogging, running, or just doing anything, as opposed to if you're just a sedentary individual. So that is the technology above and beyond the going to be featuring in the takeover water, which will be the first type of hydrogen water ever of its kind. And everyone's really excited, specifically on the science side. I was at a networking event last night here in Fort Lauderdale, and it was kind of a science event, just a lot of people talking about new technologies and new ingredients. And it was very humbling to hear from some of my peers that are 10, 15, 20 years older than me saying, Joe, this is like the most significant revolutionary thing we've seen in beverages since we've been in the game. Because bottled water is one of the top selling things in the world, and for us to be able to come in with legitimate technology on the hydrogen side, natural spring water, and to top it off, specific colloidal mineral complexes to support a variety of functions for athletic performance, for brain performance, for focus. It's crazy. This is like, and I'm a science geek, man. So for me, I worked with NASA a couple of years ago on a couple projects, and this to me is could be one of the greatest projects I've ever worked on, because it's something that really is that revolutionary. It's science driven, and it's going to be a process for everybody. That's why I want to get all this stuff set, and we're going to probably have Water Week coming up, where I'm going to eventually, once the
Hold on, guys. We're trying to get him back on here. I'm gonna be taking a bath in this water soon. Y'all better believe it. My gold platinum water. When I reach $1, I'm taking a bath in this. Hold on. Here goes Joe, guys. Hold on. He's coming back on. All right, Joe. Go ahead. All right. So, you worked for NASA, and go ahead, sir.
Well, I worked with NASA on a project through their NASA Technology Transfer Program, where they basically take different types of space technology that is used at the International Space Station, and then they license it to companies for use for products on Earth, as they say. And it was actually a stem cell product for a skincare company. But this is really along that level in terms of, out of this world technology that is really going to improve health and performance at the cellular level. So I don't want to bore everybody with a lot of the science, but I can just say that the effects of the water are going to be something that will be felt, and it's just going to help a lot of people. It's going to help performance, recovery, and even Danny. He was inspired to do this because his dad was diagnosed with cancer, was given 4 weeks to live, and that's where he shifted from environmental hydrogen science and trying to save the environment to health hydrogen science and trying to save his dad. And his dad lived another 4 years after being given for 4 weeks. So when that happened, Danny, passionately and personally committed to his life's work to perfecting this technology. And then now it's in our hands to take it out there, spread the good word, spread the message, and get it out into the consumer's hands. So it's a humbling opportunity, and we're honored to have the ability to do this.
And is it fair to say, because I'm a businessman myself, people may not believe it, but I am. Is it fair to say that even though this product is wow, that there's going to be some amazing other products coming out in the future? Is that fair to say?
Oh yeah, I mean, right now, obviously, we do one step at a time. Brick by brick. We're getting this water done, but especially after what I've seen from feedback coming back from the co-owners and shareholders expressing their interest in different types of products for different It's give because you got to remember, I've been off social media for 18 months. I lock myself up in my office, in my lab. I'm going from project to project. I can block out the outside world, no problem. I mean, if it was up to me and I had my work cut out for me, I could lock myself up for 2 weeks and not talk to anybody and be fine. So that's where I'm a little antisocial on the social media. So it's worked for me. I got to kind of get back into the mix. But once this foundation is built, I'm going to be able to shift to that, and that's when we're really going to have some fun and be able some different product releases, even some LTOs, which is like a limited time offer. If somebody says, hey, we'd like to try a drink that does ABCX, go into the lab, create something, and we could put it out there and let people try it. And if it's a success, then we scale it up. So it's really the perfect training ground. So that like if you told me right now, Stan, if you said, hey, you know what, man, I'm suffering from some really serious joint pain. Joints are swollen. I got serious inflammation. My lower back hurts. My knees hurt. You want to get ready to run a 5K or a 10K, inflammatory water to help to support pain relief and decrease inflammation. We can go into the lab, knock it out.
Hold on, guys. We lost him. I know he's coming here. This guy's answering all the right questions, guys. All the right questions. He's got all the right answers. Here you go, guys. Go ahead, buddy. Joe, you there? Sir, you there?
Yep, I'm back.
All right, go ahead.
So, so we have the ability, because we are a small company right now, and we can move quickly on the ground. It's not like a lot of these large corporations, like you mentioned earlier, when they want to make a move, it's like 6 to 12 months to launch a new product. I mean, we can move quick. So we're going to be able to shift as the market demands new things and be able to accommodate. So I think that'll be pretty cool.
Awesome. Let's shift a little here. Can you confirm the Chiefs and Royals? Chiefs Super Bowl 2 times recently, Royals to the World Series. They are clients of the ticker LTNC. Can you confirm that they are somehow still clients of yours?
Yeah, actually, I was just talking to Ryan about this the other day, and they have we've worked with them in the past. And I think if I'm not mistaken, I think the Royals home opener is April 1st, and they've been a good client in the past, and there's no reason we don't see them, staying with us in the future.
Awesome. Now, let me ask you this. Ryan had PR'd, it's been a PR, that he was retiring 500 million shares. This is a two-part question here. Um, are we going to get an update via Twitter, I assume, as your preferred method when those shares, when the certificate comes back? People don't understand that it takes weeks for the certificate to come back before they're officially retired. Once it's 500 million, half a billion shares come out to float, I assume we'll get a Twitter, some type of Twitter message from you guys, tweet, and then also, is it something that you would consider retiring more in the future? Damn it! Hold on, guys. Sorry about that. I didn't even realize I was reading my questions off the paper. Sorry, guys. Hey, Joe, you there? Joe, you there?
Yep, I'm
All
here.
right. You got some bad reception or whatever, but no big deal. You guys have retired half a billion shares. We're waiting for a tweet to update us. You'll update us once the certificate comes back. And also, would you guys consider retiring more shares in the future?
I think it's very possible, depending on how the stock is valued based on future performance of the company. So, I wouldn't write anything off at this point.
Awesome. And going pink, a lot of people, I don't know, man. I have enough shares where I don't even care about it because I know it's coming. I don't know if you noticed, but this week, investors starting to notice that a TA has finally been assigned to the ticker. It seems like we're getting closer. Are you in touch with Ryan, who has been tasked per one of the last press releases to get pink current? Two-part series here. Are we still on pace to get pink status? And number two, is there anything holding us back other than waiting to hear from OTCmarkets.com?
No, that's top priority. Application has been submitted, as Ryan has reported, waiting to hear back. And the most important thing is, we're efficient in any filings. We're currently not a filing company. We actually have till November, but, we've got everything. The application has been submitted already. So we're at their right now, just waiting to hear back.
Okay, and there's nothing that you're aware of. Am I correct that basically it's just waiting for permission to upload financials, and then from there we get a yield sign. Maybe you're aware, maybe you're not aware, and then from there we get the attorney letter. At that point, we become pink. That's the status that I understand. Is that fair to say, based on maybe what you understand as well?
Yeah, fair to say. Right now, it could happen any day. We're at their mercy.
Okay, people are watching very closely on that. Affiliate program. Many of us obviously may not work for LTNC or Takeover, but a lot of people want to get involved with getting the brand out, especially as they learn more and more about the product and so forth. Is affiliate program something that you guys are looking into in the future?
Absolutely. That was actually just discussed this week, and we've got some great platforms to implement that. And I think it's going to make this a lot of fun and even more profitable for those involved.
And confirming that there's no talks about reverse split for 6 months from that PR a couple weeks ago. No talks about it. We're not doing a reverse split. You are committed to not doing it for at least 6 months or not even talking about it. And if you do, Ryan has put in the contract that it has to go through investors for a vote. Is that all that correct?
That's correct. Yeah. Right now, I mean, listen, I'm so balls to the wall on this. It's not even funny, and everybody's pushing at this speed. That would be the not even in our conscious minds right now.
Okay. And then just one more question here. Hang on one second. Ah, endorsements. You said we got goats coming, goats from all over the place. How are we looking on that? And do you foresee that coming once start hitting shelves, once we start getting products out? Like, can you give us any idea on that?
Sure. I'll let.
Endorsements, slash, whatever relationships, stakeholders, more information. Everybody wants more information on it.
Yeah, and I know that's a hot topic, and when this whole thing hits, it's going to be a lot of fun. But we're doing it in a different way because what most companies will do, which I think is kind of some kind of a bush league way of doing it, is you start a company and then you say, "Hey, who can we sign? Because we're going to pay you to endorse our product." Because we have the relationships, not just with myself that I've worked with, athletes from all disciplines, but also, other members of the team that have longstanding personal and professional relationships with many of the best that have actually used various forms of hydrogen water, have worked with us. We're actually going to have endorsements from people that have legitimately benefited from the product and technology. And so this is where these individuals are going to be the people that are going to be coming on. And we're still with many of these. It's when you're dealing with the elite level athletes, you've got attorneys, you've got agents involved, so nothing can move as quickly as we would like. But it's going to roll out just like a movie script in terms of how this story is going to be told and how this sort of the secret of the goats, let's say, because the world's best athletes have access to various technology that the average person doesn't. And we're not just talking about stem cell therapy and HRT and a lot of this different stuff that you can regenerate ligaments and tendons. I mean, think about 20 years ago, somebody would have an ACL tear and it was a career-ending injury. Now these guys are back in 6 weeks, right? It's a little bit more than just stronger band-aids and things like that. So
Hold on, we're bringing back guys. Stand by. His phone disconnected again. Hold on one second, guys. Hold on. Stand by, guys. Stand by. Here we go. Joe's right here. Oh, shoot. Sorry, Joe. I hung up. I pushed it too hard. Sorry about that. Hold on one second, guys. Sorry. Stand by, guys. Damn, come on. I want to talk about the goats. All right, here you go. All right, Joe, go ahead. Joe, you there? Joe, are we there?
I'm back here.
Hey, Joe, can you tell me something? Something I heard in your thing. The mix. It's been utilized by some athletes already. Is that correct?
Well, I mean, hydrogen water has been sort of a cult secret by many of the world's best and many of the world's best teams, and even some of the top trainers that have worked with many of the world's best athletes. So, and these individuals that essentially are the gurus for the athletes have tremendous influence. As I do myself with the people I work with, and as many of our other affiliates that work with many of the world's best. So it's a situation where now we're
Hold on, guys. He got disconnected again. Stand by. Hold on. All right, here he is. Sorry for all the disconnects, guys. His cell service just, he said he's on full bars, but sometimes it happens. Go ahead, sir.
All right, I'm back. And I can tell you something. This is where, like, I usually keep my cool in the face of disaster, right? I could be getting grilled, but this technology is what really pisses me off because I got a brand new phone. I got full bars. I'm sitting here in a stationary position. And the damn thing keeps disconnecting. And this is where if somebody ever says, Joe, why are you not available? Why are you off social media? It's because stuff like this will just irritate the shit out of me. This is the only thing that bothers me is technology, which is where I need two new interns and an exchange student to sit here and just manage all this digital tech for me because it it's we all and again, I mean, this is like I got a brand new phone here, so it's I don't know what the deal is. I'll have
It's
to.
all good, bro. I get it, man. I get it. But one thing you highlighted was you know, a top trainer or top trainers with their clients or their athletes have used this type of technology, which I think is huge. Correct?
Yeah, I mean, it's just think about, and I know Stan, you were around back in the day, like in the early '90s when whey protein came out, right? Everybody was using milk protein, but all of a sudden now everybody's saying, hey, if you want to recover faster after a workout, you have to use whey protein. And a lot of people are like, well, what the heck is whey protein? I'm just going to eat a steak after I train or have some chicken breast. But then everybody realized that, hey, you know what? If you want better muscle recovery, you need a better, easily more absorbable protein that the body can assimilate. So now, as we've advanced the technology for hydration and cellular health, we realize that hydrogen water, as many of the elite athletes have, because they've been able to have the luxury of the financial resources to do it and to be able to drink, $20 or $30 a day in this water. The average person can't afford $300 or $400 a week in water. So that's where now we've made it affordable so that 3 cans per day is pretty much the max anybody would need. I've done it I've done 1 and 2 cans a day. I've done 3 cans a day, and obviously you're going to feel a little bit better off 2 or 3 cans. But even 1 can per day is something most people can afford. It's less than a Starbucks coffee, and it's actually going to have some significant benefits for your health. And that's where even what I had learned from Danny and the work that he's done is even he's worked with the number of people that have been recovering from various immune disorders, recovering from COVID. And when you're sick, I mean, you're willing to try anything. And so he's really excited, and I know a few people have reached out and actually spoke to him on the phone. And the guy's the real deal, man. He's like he's a saint, and he's just really committed to this. So it's great for me because he does a lot of the heavy lifting in the lab that I can bounce ideas off him. He can approve or disapprove. We collectively come up with some concepts, and then we're able to move very quickly to get these things done. So that's where the last couple of weeks have really been going through that process. So now we're ready to go into the next phase. And believe me, Stan, I mean, I'm ready to really get out there, do some more traveling, be able to go and show everybody, doing some interviews with the athletes, with regular people that are using the product, and be able to create this affiliate opportunity program for the co-owners and shareholders, and really just have some fun with this, because it's a fun product. It's nothing that's going to hurt anybody. I mean, everybody needs to drink water, and this is something that is going to have a significant performance benefit, and it's not and without caffeine, so it's pretty amazing.
No doubt. We Somebody's asking, will the product be available international? You have a lot of Middle East investors and so forth. Will it be available all over?
Yeah, the nice thing about it is, when you're dealing with a sport nutrition product, for instance, whether it's, like a pre-workout or caffeine or even diet products, the different ministries of health across the world, whether you're talking about, Canada, the UAE, even in Latin America, there are very stringent protocols because, like in Brazil, for instance, caffeine is the only ingredient that you're allowed to import in there. I mean, you can't even take anything that is has any other ingredients, whether it's a creatine or things like that, are actually banned and illegal. So because we're just delivering water with hydrogen and various colloidal minerals, and when we do move in with other nutraceutical ingredients, they're going to be GRAS ingredients, which GRAS stands for generally recognized as safe. Everything is going to be, free of any banned substance. It's going to be safe for use if you're an International Olympic Committee athlete, which we got the Olympics coming up this year. Hopefully that still goes on. WADA, which is the World Anti-Doping Association. So these products that we're bringing to market will be, legal and permissible for sale and approved by all ministries of health. So just, for those that don't know, when you are looking to take a product into another country, it could be anywhere as slow as a 2 week process. It could be up to a 6 week process to get approved. But obviously, we're going to be able to take advantage of all of that. And we already have inquiries. I've got, a really good colleague of mine in India. That's one of the top, fitness guys over in India that has a really successful company over there. We've already had some inquiries from Canada and in Latin America. So, we're going to go global with this. It's a global movement.
This is step by step, and we're going to be. Sounds like like I said, this is years for me. This is not just you're not going to get all your answers in one day, 1 week, 1 month. Um, so going back to the athletes because everybody wants to talk about it once more, real quick. I'm sorry. Before I talk about athletes, flavors. Would there be different flavors at some point?
Yeah, everything we are going to do some flavors, and my main focus with that is to keep it natural. I want, primarily we're going to go with all natural sweeteners, all natural, no artificial colors, no artificial sweeteners. I want to keep this clean, and I want to keep this healthy. So most of the drinks out there, if you take a look at something like aspartame or acusulfame potassium or sucralose, those are synthetic sweeteners, which I want to keep out. I mean, these are healthy drinks, and they're also providing prevention. So it's sort of where performance meets prevention in terms of finally healthy beverages that are not going to impair health.
And okay, and then Joe. By the way, man, I mean this is a great conversation, man. You're just a wealth of knowledge. You're the chief science officer of Takeover. We appreciate you for spending time with us. The athletes is a big thing for a lot. It's funny. Pink is a big thing for some people. The athletes, the drink. Everyone's got their own priorities, but a lot of people want to talk about the athletes. We're going to give it one more punch here. Just, just tell me this. Just tell me this, okay? Are there some big name athletes that you're talking to and or that are coming to endorse in the future? And number two, and this is on the record, people can replay this. Are you bullshitting us about it?
No, I mean, if you trace back the history, I mean, everything we're doing is real. And we have so many people, so many great athletes that want to get involved. It's just determining the alignment because some of these individuals may want us to do a product for them, for their brand. Some may want to endorse our brand. So we're not shutting out any particular opportunity to work with the world's best athletes. So, for instance, when you have an individual that might be, I saw somebody, put a famous boxer up there. Here's a guy that he might say, hey, you know what? I want a particular water that you guys can develop for me that I can sell, through my network of channels. And so once we get our product up and running, we are going to have a number of athletes endorsing that, and then we are not going to be shut out to exploring any opportunity that makes sense with the world's best. Because at the end of the day, if you are any athlete, whether you're a professional or an amateur at the high school level or the pro level, you're going to be drinking hydrogen water. I mean, once this gets out there, it's just like you're going to have to do it. If the competition's doing it, if the best people are doing it, you're going to do it. So that's why it was so important that we had this partnership with the best science, because at the end of the day, you're going to want to use the best product. I mean, I know, for instance, even from top supermodels use only certain cosmetics. They use, they want to use the cream of the crop. And so that's where, when we move forward over the next couple weeks, and the products get released and move out, all of this is going to happen in the way that it should, in terms of, product announcements, product release, education, and then we're going to tell the story about the athletes coming on board. So think of it as we're watching a movie here, and we're in the first 10 to 15 minutes, and you're wanting to fast forward to the middle, and I don't want to let out the secret to the end or the middle.
Well, I'm one of your biggest cheerleaders out here, and I'm taking a lot of heat for it from people that just don't understand what's coming based on what I'm seeing as a business. Will you give me the opportunity to interview some of these people in the future? I hope you write that in the contract.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, man, you do a great job on the interviews, and I know you've got a really loyal following. I met a guy last night, that he was telling me his son was well, I mean, friend. There was a couple of people actually that knew about you, so you kind of you're becoming a legend yourself out there, Stan. And and I think it's because right now this new generation, they need leadership, they need guidance, they need unbiased information. And that's where, with all these athletes, I mean, obviously, we'll have opportunities where I want to do a roundtable. I want to talk to both these men and women from different disciplines and not just sports. I mean, you got to remember, if you're a musician, you're a singer, you're a rapper, you're out there working out hard. I mean, I know many guys that, it's when you're on stage performing for 4 hours a night, a couple nights a week, you got to be in shape. And so these guys take their mind body connection is what it's all about. So it's going to be, you're going to have a wide variety of people you're going to be able to talk to, and it's going to be really a whole process of discovery in terms of learning how many people actually take their nutrition seriously and are going to be powered up by our water.
Man, I'm so excited, and I want to tell you. So we're pre-order. Target date is April 2nd. We're going to get your brand. It's not H2 for life, or H2. Yeah, H2 for life. It is going to be your brand, your mix. And I'm going to reconfirm something else. But before I do that, I want to say something real quick. People don't understand. You didn't just make this mix. The last 2 weeks. I mean, you've been working on this drink for years. You've been working on this opportunity for years. I met you 3 weeks ago. Like, that's the first time I ever known you, met you. Thank you for being in my life and others' life. You're a great guy, man. I mean, I could just tell that you really care about the well-being of everyone. Just following you, just a great follow. But you could tell me that you've been working on this for a while. This is just the opportunity. You took it. You met Ryan somehow, and you guys connected, and you guys are rolling with it. Is that true? Oh man, I'm sorry. Hold on one second, guys. I was looking away. Let me see. Let me see if he heard my question. Hey Joe, did you hear me?
I'm back right now. No, go
Okay,
ahead,
you
Stan.
didn't hear me. I was saying that you've been working on this product for years. This didn't just happen last night. You guys have been together or known each other for decades. This drink has been in the works, or these products have been in the works for years. Is this correct? Like, this is not just something you woke up to and said, I'm X years old and I'm just going to do this today. This is something you've been working on. You were waiting for the right opportunity. Somehow, some way, you guys merged with Ryan, and everything's all magic. Is that pretty much correct?
Yeah, I'll tell you, it's crazy because, like I said, I tried hydrogen water for the first time in around 2015. And when you try something that works like a drug and it's not a drug and you're getting drug like results, you got something special. And I know a lot of people, even within the LTNC family, have tried CBD and have had, similar results from CBD, where you have something when you're waking up every day with chronic pain and all of a sudden you start using CBD and the pain goes away. You're like, wow, I need this stuff. So for me, being a runner and, really being an exercise addict where, I train every day for, at least an hour on the weekends if I've got time. I'll go, I'll do 2 or 3 hour workouts. Sometimes on Sunday, if I take the day off of work, I'll do, a long 5 hour session. I'll run for an hour, bike for an hour, swim for an hour, and then I'll do another hour of, plyometrics and calisthenics. I really, do somewhat of a marathon muscle session. So when I started using the hydrogen water, 6, 7 years ago, and I noticed the effects, that was right then and there. I talked to my guys that, we've been working together for a long time and said, man, we got to do a hydrogen water. But the problem was we were having a hard time finding the right product. And we're like, we're not going to take a product to market unless it's something that's really good. And so that's where it was just the stars were aligned. I mean, I don't believe in coincidence. I believe in destiny. And I know, Ryan was praying hard about this, and I'm not a holy roller and I'm not trying to, get, biblical on people. But, when you think about, Faith Springs and the name of that parent company, and you think about people that are involved, and even doing more research as we've done over the last couple of years, you hear about like the healing springs in certain parts of the world that actually have naturally elevated levels of hydrogen in the water. Like in France, for instance, there's very high magnesium content in the soil, which they have springs there that generate very high levels of hydrogen in the water, which is nothing compared to the levels that we're able to do synthetically with the technology. But that was where you heard rumors about people going to the healing springs and drinking the water and then curing themselves of these diseases. So, I'm not making any ridiculous claims. This is stuff that people have said for hundreds and thousands of years. And so now it's kind of making sense when you're looking and saying, wow, so, this, like, to me, this is not about the money. This is about, number one, helping and healing a lot of people. And then secondarily, if we can create a profitable equitable opportunity for people that are involved, for the co-owners and the shareholders, and be able to do an affiliate program so people can promote a product they believe in that's actually going to help their family and their friends and improve their performance. I mean, it's just a win all the way around. And I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I've been jamming like, I'm going to bed maybe 11 o'clock. I wake up at 3 in the morning. Some nights I'm going to bed at midnight and I'm waking up at 2:33 because my brain is on high speed right now. When I'm focused on something, whether it was, when my younger days, when I was training for a race or a bodybuilding competition, or if I'm on a project that I'm really passionate about, like, every fiber of my body just vibrates this. And this is all I'm focused on right now. I mean, I'm completely in the zone on getting this thing done because I know how important it is. And I know how many people are depending on the company. They're depending on this product. We're going all out, man. I'm not messing around here.
All right, man. Well, it seems like you got some great stuff going on, and yeah, I go to bed at midnight because I got to snipe bears all night doing what I'm doing, and then I got to wake up at 3 a.m. to snipe some more bears. They keep creating these fake accounts, cartoon characters, and just uneducated kids that just continuously throw false information, and got to do all that. But man, this has been a great interview, Joe. Listen, you and I chatted about a lot of stuff that I've asked you. I want to bring this up again for people who didn't hear the first of the interview. We are now committed to 300 cases of water to the women's NCAA who are being mistreated by the NCAA. To give them some goat water to get going, and I'm sure other investors want to join on board once the pre-release comes out. Joe, do you have anything that you want to talk about or add that I didn't talk to you about? Do you want to bring anything up on your own, sir?
Well, I'm just going to say one thing, and I'm glad that we're starting with the women's NCAA because I think a good goal for us as a team and as a family and as an army is that every month we should identify one particular cause or charity that we're passionate about, or maybe that surfaces in the world and in the media, that we do something to give back every month. So this being Women's Month, we're giving back to the women's NCAA. In April, I want to identify what group. It could be the Special Olympics, it could be the Autism Foundation, it could be something else that one of us has been touched by a particular condition that has taken a loved one, or has inhibited someone's personal growth or development. And so that's where I work with a nonprofit here in Fort Lauderdale. It's called Life Sports Fitness. I serve as chief health officer. It's an after-school sports camp for kids between the ages of 5 and 12. We teach them life skills, core values, leadership, along with sports activities. And that nonprofit has been hit hard because of COVID. There's no more after-school camps because kids aren't going to school, and it's really it's a great program. But we need now to do things virtually. We have to get virtual trainers and virtual coaches and mentors and tutors that help the kids with their homework and things like that. So that's an adaptive process for that particular organization that I'm committed to support. But that doesn't mean that that's the only group that we have to support. I'm all about identifying what's the sort of the largest bleeding wound and what we have to do collectively to make a difference. And if we're doing that, we're doing things right, then I think we'll all continue to grow and prosper.
I see a lot of people talking. You're great stuff here, man. I see a lot of people talking about autism. I'm sure a lot of people have family that are affected. My oldest has autism, and this is huge too. And you guys are doing some great things, and I'm sure that as a group of investors, we can come up with some great stuff. And ultimately, it's up to you to do that. To decide what you want to do and so forth. But man, we can send a message. This is powerful. Let me ask you one thing. Do you know yet if your water is good on Mars? Because we're going to be there before Elon. Do you know if we can drink this on Mars?
I can't answer that right now, but I'll try to get the answer for you. I'll ask Danny. Danny will tell me yes or no. I don't want to answer that one.
Danny looks like he is a genius in his own making, and I'd love to get a chance to interview him one time and get to know his story. I mean, I saw it on the PR and from what I saw on Facebook and stuff like that. But this is real, man, and it seems like you guys are doing some real stuff here.
Oh yeah, Danny's on another level, man. I mean, like this dude, and these are the types of guys that like I really enjoy spending time with and learning from because no man is an island, and you only learn from people that know more than you. And when this guy has dedicated his life to this field, just his perspective, his thoughts, theories, and hypotheses on things that can then be validated when you bring to him and say, well, Danny, if that works for this, what if we did this? And he's like, oh, well, this makes sense. And so, the whole R&D process has been greatly accelerated because, we're able to get from point A to point Z a lot more quickly. And we've just been covering some tremendous ground over the last several weeks and months. So it's been pretty gratifying intellectually to be able to have that type of achievement scientifically versus just saying, oh, we're just going to make some bullshit product and try to put it out there and make some money. And it's totally not the case.
I love it, man. Well, Joe, listen, we appreciate you for spending your Friday night with us. I'm sure you got a lot more to do than spend time with us. But we look forward for the weeks to come. You've been very generous with the information you provided us based on what you're able to say at the moment. And we appreciate your time, sir. And thank you so much for the interview this evening.
No, my pleasure. Thank you so much, Stan. And you guys have a great weekend. Be safe, and we'll be ready to hit week 4 next.